Welcome back to another episode of TVGP's We Roguelike It, the show where we're trying to shoot every bug that is underneath our ship. I swear to God. I'm your host, Boston. Joining me as always is Moonpier.
Howdy.
How'd your week in space go?
So I basically redesigned my entire ship.
Okay.
Um, so good news, as long as you don't reinforce parts, you can deconstruct and reconstruct and you get the same materials back again. So that's the good
Ah,
news.
good, nice.
Because I got to the hangar part and the planetary landing stuff,
Mm-hmm.
which is great. Don't take privates with you. Like
Oh, no.
clones that are privates. Don't ever take them with you because
They're dumb.
they die real quick.
Yep.
Um, I got spent a whole bunch of time. I jumped to a new star system.
Mm-hmm.
Hey Boston, that galaxy map is huge.
Yeah, I didn't realize how big it was until I was nearing the end of my tutorial run, which we'll get to later. And I'm
So
like,
I
oh,
got the achievement for finishing the tutorial. I'm still
okay.
in the same run. This might be one of those long run games that I'm concerned about.
Yeah, I didn't finish the tutorial. But yeah, like hopping from star to star to star is sort of like, oh, yeah, that's real big, and I don't know how to make the hyper jumping faster.
Uh-huh.
Or like be able to jump further. So that's fun.
Yeah. I just unlocked the shotgun from my crew, which I had
Mm,
to do by jumping 3 different light systems over. So this game is going to be a problem for me and you to beat the game as a whole, I think,
yeah.
because we have a collector's mentality.
Yes.
When we get to a star system, we are going to Mass Effect gather every single thing that's on
Oh, yep.
that
I'm gonna
area.
scan everything I can. If I can go down to the planets, there's gonna be a thing down there I can stand next to for a while to get a schematic for a
Uh-huh.
thing. Yep.
Yep. We are going to do that with everything. I
Yep.
think this game is probably not meant to be played that way. I think it's probably
Probably not.
jump to a place, get what you need, and then jump to the next place and the next
Right.
place and the next place.
But what if I need
Um,
it for the next building?
yeah, exactly. That's my whole mentality as well.
That's right.
So runs along, but I will
Yeah.
say I'm enjoying the run that I'm having, where it's
Okay.
like, have you died yet?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm real
So
pissed off about it. I'm real pissed off about this game this week. Um,
okay, you
it
go ahead because I'm curious.
is because of how my tutorial ended. So I did a huge number of jumps in the tutorial, and I was making
Uh-huh.
my way kind of across the galaxy, trying to stop when your 3x3 grid is over the most stars possible. So I'd kind of do a couple of
Yes.
jumps, and I'd plant right there, and I said, all right, now we're going to just scan everything here and try and do our best. I made it to the Genesis planet, and
Ooh, I
I,
still haven't done that yet.
I scanned it, and it's like, congratulations, you got one. I was like, yes, perfect. My ship is in pretty good space, like a pretty good state. I got a bunch of turrets everywhere. When aliens are coming on the ship, they're getting blasted pretty quickly. I have 7 crew
Uh-huh.
members. I feel like I'm in a pretty good spot. Um, and it says, all right, to get ready to go down to the Genesis planet, you need 20 crew members. It's like, I'm sorry,
Ooh,
what? That's
that's a lot.
too many, man. I'm struggling to get 7. All right, let's start gathering stuff to make people. I scan another planet, and then as soon as I do that, raiders board my ship.
Oh no.
And they're like legally distinct freemen from the Dune series. They're like Freeman
Oh.
or something like that. And they there are like 3 or 4 of them on my ship at any given time. They take a lot of shots and they do a lot of damage.
Were they the ones with the shotguns? Because I think I ran across them. Like I I
Those
was
would have been
close
great.
to death.
Hmm. I didn't get the shotgun ones. I got the pulse rifle ones.
Oh, great.
So they are lighting me up from pretty much everywhere, and they chewed through all of my crew so incredibly fast because I couldn't get to my bridge to jump away. So
Mm-hmm.
they just kept sending more and more and more people as soon as I was clearing them out. And at some point, the game said like, "Oh, there's an intercepted radio message," and they're like, "All right, abandoned ship, we got everything we needed." They like cleared out every single thing that I had on the ship. And as soon as that happened, I got another message just like, "There's more loot on board. Get back on there." And I was like, "Are you kidding me?" So they killed each and every crew member I had, and every time they kill you, you
You come back as a clone.
right, you promote another clone as captain, and then I would like turn a corner and they blat 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 and then dead. And within like probably 15 minutes, I lost that run. I was like, cool, cool, great. That's not
That's good to
infuriating at
know.
all. Yeah.
Yeah. So what was it like then for a new game? Did you like choose a different company, a different
Yeah,
person?
when I was done, they said, "All right, here you unlocked 10 things," and they're like, "You unlocked the it's like the Rachni, whatever they call the like the Mass Effect Rachni in this game. You can
Hmm.
now scan for them when you're looking for tractor beam stuff, in case you want to specifically go somewhere with them. And then here's like 8 different corporations, a version 1 of them that you have unlocked, and then a version 2 that you can unlock after you do different things in game.
Yeah.
So I could go back and play the tutorial and try and finish it to, I guess, unlock more stuff. But I picked one of the other corporations to start. I basically got like 2 of the pirate bandit ones. Those are locked. I got a clone one, which didn't seem really that interesting. A weapons one, and then I picked, I think, basically the balanced one, like the very kind of default one.
Yeah.
And I'm starting a run with that, and it coming off of the tutorial, it's kind of a bummer because they don't give you as much of the stuff as you had in the tutorial. Like you don't have the hangar like you were just talking about, so you can't go down to planets. You can build the tractor beam and all that stuff at the beginning, but the amount of stuff you have at the beginning is pretty frightfully low in a way that's kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
So starting that run was sort of like, I'm not really enjoying this, and I keep running into a problem where I do a hyper jump and there's a bunch of planets there, and I scan them, and then I go to the tractor beam thing, and there's nothing. It is just totally like every square gives you that 4x4 grid.
Hmm.
Every square is black, and I can't
Interesting.
do anything there. So I'm like, cool. Maybe I have run into a bug. No pun intended.
Possibly. I also wonder if that's one of those things where like, because I know that on the hyper jump thing, it's a 3x3 square that you can jump into, but then you've got to jump into one of those squares specifically, which is a bit of a
Right.
of a nightmare.
It's. I wish
I
that
don't.
interface was better. The hyper jumping interface.
Yes,
It's a little
little
not
rough.
Yeah, not like it's not confusing. It's rough. I think is the right word. Like it just needs another pass on kind of how you use it and how you jump to somewhere and how you tell what's gonna be there. Like you can do it, but it's a little bit weird.
Yeah. I So I'm still in the tutorial run, but I got the
Mm,
achievement for beating the tutorial, which I think I got after I did my first like hyperspace jump.
okay.
Um, so I don't know what that was all about. You might have that uh,
I might. Yeah.
trophy already.
I have a couple of
Um,
trophies, but I don't remember what they're for.
but yeah, I like today specifically. I was like, look, I'm fed up of running everywhere on my ship to clean up this stupid lichen that keeps showing up.
Yeah, I hate it.
Which I figured out thanks to tutorial tips, which I actually stopped pressing A as soon as I could and read some of the tutorial tips.
Right.
Thanks, solid state drives.
Right.
Um, it shows up with anything that has an interactability with anything about the outside world, essentially. So
Ah, okay.
So I like my ship. I told you my ship was higgledy piggledy. I had like the tractor beam was off the greenhouse, and then something else was the refinery was off the greenhouse.
Mm-hmm.
So I basically got rid of all of the refinery, the materials process and stuff, and I moved it right to the back of my ship. So I've got the hangar, and then next to the hangar, I've got the workshop, I've got the refinery, I've got the
Oh,
tractor
okay.
beam, and on top of them being close to each other, that allows the droids who carry the boxes
Mm-hmm.
like they will carry it. So your refinery might need one sulfur or whatever, so the droid has to go get it from storage, take it to the refinery, drop it off there so
Ah,
it can be
right.
made.
Right.
So I've moved all of that stuff down by the hangar, so my deposits are now down by the hangar too, so the droid doesn't have to pick up
Gotcha.
the box, go all the way to the top of the ship, drop it off in the one
Right. Take
deposit
10
box, and
minutes to go.
all the way back. So
Right.
now I'm on this like cycle of I will go into the tractor beam place. I will maximize my crew. So I've got two in there, bunch of turrets, bunch of those
Mm-hmm.
energy shields to stop the stupid things from crawling underneath the
Yep.
vents because you can put them under the floor as
Right.
well. Um, so I go in there, say, okay, you guys just focus on tractor beam in this. I'm gonna take the ship down with one of my noobs. He's gonna get killed, and I'm
Right.
gonna gather what's left because it's so quick that process when there's two of you doing it. Like it's like
Mm-hmm.
you go out and in about 40 seconds you're done, and you just go back to the ship.
Right.
Um, so I've been doing that. Someone who was in my refinery just got promoted to lieutenant, which means he can use different guns, and I
Oh, nice.
literally just unlocked the shotgun. So
Mm-hmm.
I've given him the shotgun and put him now on hangar duty. So when I go down to the planet, he's gonna go with me.
Ah,
Um,
gotcha.
I rearranged like the entire layout. So like the left side, upper left is all crew quarters. The upper right is the greenhouse,
Mm-hmm.
and then everything that has any interaction at all with anything from space is all at the bottom. So I can just do a loop and just really like loop around, clean the lichen, get rid of any things that come in, or because when the stupid thing deposits, the robots deposit from the hangar to the deposit, that's when you can get creatures as well. Like anytime something
Gotcha.
from space gets interacted with,
It's
that's
gonna
when you can
spread.
get creatures. That's when you can
Right.
get lichens. So like
Right.
I had a long corridor to like my clone labs, and that entire thing was just covered in it because it was right next to my original deposit location. And I was like,
Mm.
okay,
Like
so I'm
tracking
just
it through the whole house.
yes.
Right.
So I just got rid of all of that stuff, moved it down to the set to the bottom part, and it seems to be a bit of a smoother flow for me right now. Now that I've got
Okay.
the ship kind of, I don't get me wrong, I don't know what anything is anymore because I've moved it all around.
Right.
But in doing so, I think I've got everything in a space where like all of my defenses are on that part of the ship because that's where it's going to have things coming in.
Mm-hmm.
So like my refinery leads to my workshop. Both of those have turrets on them. Both of those have energy shields. So if it goes through the upper corridors, it's going to get shot. It can't go through the bottom because of the energy shields. So
Gotcha.
that seems to be working well so far. So far, he says, knowing full well he literally. I went down to a planet and I got like people beam down to the planets to attack you, which I
Oh,
didn't
wow.
see coming,
Yeah.
and I lost 2 lives, quote unquote lives, that way.
Mm-hmm.
Like going down and then literally it's just a bunch of dudes with shotguns chasing me around. It's like, guys,
Yikes.
guys, I just want my uranium
That's
so I
right.
can get power cells and create another reactor, which if you put a clone in the reactor gives you more energy. Spoiler
Right.
alert.
Right.
Helpful to know. So like I think I'm at 3 crew quarters now, which is 5 each. I think I'm up
Okay.
to 11 crew because I don't have enough biosphere to produce more clones at the moment.
Right.
So I need another greenhouse so I can get
Right.
another set of things. And in part of the process of this whole thing and like finding people and researching people, I got the pyros. Have you seen those people? They're cool as hell.
Goodness, no.
They're like little fire demons.
Oh, okay, that's all
who
right.
fling fire at you, and then you get set on fire. It's not great.
Oh well, yeah, that's not great if unless they're on your team.
So I messed around with the cloning thing a little bit, and I noticed that if you have the DNA from all the races, you can clone that race.
Yep. Have you captured any enemies?
I haven't yet. That's my next thing. Is I need one more
Yeah.
reactor so I can get the alien lab, so then I can start to capture people.
Right.
Um, and then hopefully do research, and then from there, hopefully I can start to do more stuff.
Clone
Because
your own fire
I
demons.
know, yes, a crew of fire demons who it says what they breathe next to them in the cloning thing too. So you
Yes.
need to have the right plants to be able to support the right
Yep.
crew,
Yep.
which is that's a cool little touch. Like that's
Yeah.
a nice little, here is a thing. Like you can't have any of these people because you don't have enough of this type of atmosphere. Like
Yeah.
I like that nice little touch because it makes sense. Different things breathe different types of air,
Hmm.
essentially. So I'm looking. I really just want that capture point because I want to get to the point because it's like, oh, you can upgrade this, and as soon as you upgrade the cloning station, you can start to give like people you clone immunities. So
Oh, interesting.
you can make them immune to diseases if you research enough of the disease, or
That'd be
you can
great.
make them like this game is so much depth and it's so
Yeah.
stupid. Like it's just like
There's a lot in this game. I feel like at the
yeah,
beginning there's too much. Like
uh-huh,
it's neat because it really tries to do that almost like 2 Point Hospital kind of thing where you're managing the nitty gritty of your spaceship and you really are managing the entirety of it. But you're also flying it and managing your crew and going down to planets and upgrading this and there's a lot and I think for me it was too much this week. Like there's too
uh-huh.
much. There are too many plates to spin, um, and that was frustrating. But I respect the hell out of this game, even if I didn't have much fun with it this week. Like they're really
Yeah.
trying something.
I think I also and something I'm still trying to learn is I underestimated how important the bridge is because the
Yeah,
bridge has interactive points with all of your main systems. So
right.
like you can interact with the different bays based on your location just in the bridge itself. So I'm curious if I can get my clone capacity up enough
Hmm.
to the point where I've got a full crew of 20 or whatever, can I have them all at their locations and then literally just stand at the bridge and go, okay, you're going to harvest this, you're going to go down to the
Yeah,
planet and do this, and then it becomes just me standing on the bridge doing nothing
doing the
essentially while
captain's
everybody
job.
else does stuff.
Yeah.
Because I got like excuse me, I got an upgrade which was increased harvester speed. And I don't know what that
Oh.
does. It's
Okay.
in the workshop, and it's like it increases the speed that the harvesters return when you send them out. So it's like,
Okay.
well, I need at least 3 lieutenants to go on that because I'm not sending one private down by himself so he can get killed in
Well,
four
private
seconds
with a
flat.
pistol and like two shots in it.
Uh-huh.
Right.
So like I want to get more clones to do that, but I need to figure out how to make plates, which is the thing I need to do the greenhouse. So now I've got to find wherever I need to make plates with is the thing that I probably need to go to the workshop and figure that out, to be honest. But
Oh, sure.
if I can make plates, make another greenhouse, get more plants, increase my crew, and then see where it goes from there, kind of thing.
Right. It's so interesting because I think at the beginning of the game you could really see where a well-run spaceship can shine. It's just I feel like getting to that point feels pretty daunting at the moment. I think you're well on its way though, which is exciting.
Honestly, I wouldn't have even thought of it until it was like literally that one tooltip was just like, yes, this is lichen. This comes from refining,
Right.
moving things from
Comes from space stuff.
yeah, basically
Yeah.
anything associated with space. And it's like, ah, crap. I guess I'm gonna just. I spent like maybe 20 minutes just constructing and deconstructing because you can't deconstruct storage if you have stuff in storage because if you do, you lose it. So it
Right.
was create a new one and then get rid of the old one.
Mm-hmm.
Pro tip: if you're gonna get rid of a room that has shields and turrets in it, collect the shields and turrets first, because you do
Good call.
lose them.
Right. Man.
I learned that one the hard way.
Yeah. This game is cool. There's a lot going on, sort of for better or for worse, but it still seems neat. It's just a lot.
It's the thing we talked about last week, where it's like the early access problem of like we're
Yeah.
coming into this after like 4 or 5 patches, and
Mm-hmm.
how much of this was in the original game versus how much is only in the most recent patches. Like, there's a lot going on that we don't know a thing about.
Right, exactly. Yeah. All right. I think that's it for week 2 Genesis Alpha 1. Thank you for listening. We'll see you all next run. Bye.
Oh, yeah. Boy, boy.